wanted to talk about the books that I got today. Where's the camera? I have no idea. I've kept this policy for me that I will not buy more than 5 books at a time if I have to, and I have to read at least 3 of them to even think about buying more. It's holidays and I know I'm gonna read more, so this is commitment that now that I've bought these 5 books, I have to read the ones that I've bought already. Sounds very sus, but I promise I will adhere to my policy. Peacocks. Or cats. First one I got Getting Lost by Annie Ernaux, or en fait c'est Annie Ernaux. I wanted Simple Passion by Annie Ernaux, but they didn't have it, and I didn't want to order it because it's too expensive. But what I did find was the novel that Simple Passion is based on, in a way, because it's more of Annie Ernaux writes like diaries of sorts. It's not just like a whole novel as such, and some anecdotes, reflections. It's like a diary, but I think I like the space that she creates for the story-like descriptions, and I think it's mostly about her encounters with the people in her life, and I like the fact that she kind of cannot write. I mean, not in the sense that it's bad grammar. I mean, I would never buy a book with bad grammar unless that's the concept, but it's so much more honest and unfiltered this way, and I think I will enjoy this. It's a thick read, but let's see. Next one is, I've been seeing this everywhere, and I read a few reviews. I'm not ashamed, but kind of ashamed that most of my impressions of this book were from Instagram. At least it's not Book Talk. I don't have TikTok. I wish. But it's Flights. I have seen this everywhere, and I think I'm just gonna give it a shot. I know nothing about this. I got my hair cut like half an hour ago. It's already bothering me. Anyway, like I said, I know nothing. I read the back description, gave me nothing, so that's good. We'll see how that one goes. Speaking of Annie Ernaux, I did find a French version of one of her books. It's not entirely in French. Some of the things are in English, like the introduction is in English. Some excerpts, some passages are in French, and then it starts to get into proper French. So I'm kind of excited. Also, I love translations, but sometimes originals can be more truthful, less semantically bleached, I would say, or ambiguous. It's just the original work. I mean, nothing compares to that. I don't like the cover. It's too textbook. But it's Routledge, and in Routledge we believe. So I'm excited to have another French read. I'm already reading Jean-Paul Sartre. Jean-Paul Sartre. L'âge de raison. I'm 30-40 pages in. It's good, it's picking up. So yeah, I'm excited to have another French read by a French author with an ugly cover. It's called La Place, just saying. Next one I was so excited for because the bookshop I usually buy my books from, they didn't have it the first time I went to buy the books I bought before this. The ones I'm still going through, they didn't have that. And I asked them if they could order, and they said yes, we can. And they had the one copy of The Memory Police.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. No.
I have read this. I didn't finish it. I didn't get to finish it because we had parts of this in my bachelor's in English. I did a bachelor's in English.
With honors.
An outstanding grade. Anyway, it gives 1984, and I love 1984. So I'm very excited to revisit this, mostly because my memory recalls a few details, but not everything. And I didn't finish it, so I'm really excited for this one. And I love the cover. Last one on the list is, and this I fell in love with at first glance. I've never encountered this author before, but I have a book on like a similar genre. This is On Photography by Susan Sontag. That's what day is it? Sunday? Sonntag. Saturday. Donnerstag. Sonntag. Someday in German. I was not sure about this because one, I've read Ways of Seeing by John Berger, I don't know. I'm sorry. But I loved that one. We had it when we were doing Theory of Criticism again in my bachelor's, which is suddenly relevant all of a sudden. I haven't thought about my bachelor's in like 2 years. Anyway, it's giving similar vibes, and I read through a few pages, and some of the things that are said here I have no context for, but I instantly agreed with. So I thought, you know what, let's give this book a shot. I love the cover. I love the feel. It's very handmade paper. You can see how dirty it is. So it might just be handmade, or it might just be very dirty. I'm sorry. Where I buy it from, some of the books are secondhand, like donated by people. Some are anywho, I love the feel. John Berger's Ways of Seeing is like also, it's the same make and shape and feel, and I just fell in love with the book because it's such a pocket book. I love that. I love pocket books. I'm excited to read this one. I think so. Did someone bite it? There's a bite mark over here. Anyway, I'm excited for this. I honestly think this is a read that is supposed to be done in a very scenic place where time is slowed down and you're not in a hurry to finish the book or to go somewhere, and you can take all your time and sort of move through the book. Not what I bought, by the way, just trying to set up my camera in the back. Okay, I hope this works. My iPad has started to come out of the case. Okay, anyway. One thing that I'm sort of unlearning and relearning is how to read a book. I used to think that reading a book means like going through every page in excruciating detail and actually finishing it. Controversial, like unpopular opinion, but I don't think I should finish the book to consider the fact that I've read it. Yes, I mean, I can't just read the first 10 pages and call it a day. That's, no. But I think I can finish majority of the book, 3/4, maybe a bit more, 80% of it, get the gist of it, appreciate it, critique it, annotate it, and then if I feel disconnected, and if I leave it, I will still consider it a book read because I learned something from it, I reflected, it occupied a mental space in my head, and I think that's more or less what literature is supposed to be about. You know, you think, you spend time in the universe of discourse that each book has, and it's always different every time. So if that is done, or if I consider that I've done enough of that, and I feel as if maybe it's time to let go of this book, pick up another, I would do it. I wouldn't chase the perfection of finishing a book and then dragging myself through it and end up resenting it. Because that is what happened when I was reading The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It started out as a very insightful book, a very, the book that kind of withholds its USP until you get to certain chapters or pages, and I love that it did that. But the more I read it, I almost finished it, it just got too much. I stopped relating to the overdose of philosophy and overdose of these revelations that I couldn't connect to it, I couldn't resonate. I just blanked out, and I thought, you know what, I'm done. The book was not bad, but I honestly could not stand it after a point. But then again, that's on me. In a way, also on the book, but it's an old book. Like, it's very old. So I won't say that I wouldn't recommend it. It's good in terms of the little lessons, in terms of the philosophy, the schools of thought, and as a stream of consciousness, it's really good. But I didn't finish it, and I wouldn't hold it against anyone if they didn't either.